Yeah, hi. Is it is it your first class, brother?
Yeah, yesterday only I got this information. So yeah, am I audible? No?
Okay, okay. And you are from which location?
I'm here, Bangalore Whitefield now.
Okay, okay. So let's start the today's session. Today in this session we will learn about the file system and basic commands. We know in Windows the partitions are in FAT32 NTFS and the disk are in C drive, D drive, and likewise. So we need to know also what is the partition system and what is the drive name and what is the partition name. All these things we also need to know in Linux. In last class, we have prepared the lab using a RHL DVD, but according to a requirement, you can do CentOS or a RHL. Because in case of CentOS, we can get the free repository. In case of RHL, we need the subscription. In this lab, we have also prepared the VMware player for the hypervisor because it is a very light software. Also, PuTTY and FileZilla clients both are the tools, small tools using which we can access the Linux server. So minimum partitions required in Linux operating system are swap, boot, home, slash, and boot slash EFI. This partition is required whenever our Linux operating system, our server having the UEFI firmware. Because now firmware comes in two formats. One is BIOS, another is UEFI. In case of UEFI, we have to create another partition slash boot EFI. And other partitions, mandatory partitions are slash boot slash and home. Also swap is a mandatory partition, and this is the a space provided from the physical hard disk as a virtual memory which will be utilized when the physical memory is completely utilized. That means when the physical memory is utilized 100%, at that time swap partition will be work as a physical memory. You got my point? Okay. In last class also we have discussed about the virtual console, desktop environment, command structure as well. Command structures are command minus option and argument. Whenever we will use a single letter option, at that time we will use a single dash. Whenever we will use a complete word, full word, at that time we will use the double dash. So this is the command structure, and according to our option, commands behavior will be changed. So what is help and man info? These are the four commands using through we can get the help about a command. If you want to know a detail about a command, you can use the any option from these four. What is help, man, and info? So some partitions we need to know. Sorry, what some important directories in Linux we need to know. Likewise in system in Windows system, we know C Windows System 32. This is the servers configuration file located all there. So likewise in Linux, home directory located in slash root and slash home username. This is I have already told you. Slash root is the home directory for root user and slash home is the home directory for other users. So user executables are located in slash bin, usr slash local and bin. Likewise, all configurations files are located in slash etc. We need to remember this one. All configuration files located in slash etc. Temporary files will be in slash temp and other mount points. That means whenever we will mount a CD or DVD, at that time that will be mount in the slash media or MND. Likewise, these are the some important directories we need to know and we need to use according to our requirement. Because in whenever we will access the Linux server in a command prompt, at that time we need to browse this directory or navigate to this directory according to our requirement. So now we will learn what is the absolute path and what is the relative path. Because if I show you, in case of Windows, this is my computer through which we can navigate to any directory. But likewise in Linux, what is the format and what is the method to change the directories? Let me tell you here. In Windows, we tell the folder that is known as directory in a Linux server. Every folder is known as a directory. Now we are in /root directory. As I told you, this is the home directory for root user. So whenever we want to change any other directory, we need to provide a relative path or a absolute path. This is the two method using what we can change the directory. What is absolute path? Absolute path begins with a forward slash. That means now you can see /root. This root directory is started with the slash. That means this is the absolute path. If you want to change the etc directory, that means the system configuration directory, then we need to use the /etc. This is the absolute path what I am giving. Another thing, you can see in root there is a document directory. So if you want to change the document directory, what I can do, I can using the cd command and then document or desktop, any directory I can change using the directly using the cd command. Because I am in root directory, I have just given the cd and desktop. This is the relative path. This is not the absolute path. Because if whenever we will use the cd command with /root then desktop, this is the absolute path because we have given the complete roadmap. This is the location, exact location. We have given the complete roadmap. So this is called the absolute path. Absolute path started with the slash, because slash is the parent directory of a Linux operating system. So this thing we need to remember, one is a relative path, another is a absolute path. Absolute path always starts with a slash, and slash is the parent directory in Linux. This is the slash, that means it is called root, it is the parent directory in Linux. Any doubt here?
No.
Okay. Changing directories. cd is the command through which we can change directory. That means using the cd command, we can change or navigate to the directories according to the requirement. Here you can see, I have already shown you, using the cd command, I have just changed the current directory /root/desktop to root. This is the cd command, that means change directory. Here you can use two methods. One is absolute path and another is relative path. This is the two method. Then to a directory one level up. That means now we are in desktop. We want to go to the cd root. What we can do? We can use the command /root as well, or else cd dot dot. PWD. You can see just I am navigate to the one level of directory. From desktop directory, I have changed my location to the /root using the cd dot dot command. So using cd space dot dot, we can move one level up. To change your home directory, we can use the cd command directly. Let me show you. I will change my current location to cd etc. Now I want to move to the home directory of the root user, because I am using this server as a root user. So if I want to change to the home directory, as I told you, /root is the home directory for root user. If I will use the cd command, then you can see I have changed my directory to the /root. That means home directory of the root user. To previous working directory, we need to use the cd /. Likewise, present working directory, show me using the command pwd. you can see I am showing you PWD, that means present working directory. Now I am in which directory? It will show the present working directory. So listing a directory contents, that means now I am in /root directory. So what are the contents in the root directory? If I want to check, I can use the command ls. ls is the command to check the contents of the directory. ls option file or directory. That means now I am in /root directory, but I want to check the contents about the /root and desktop. At that time, what I will do? I will use the command ls, then option, then destination. That means from which directory I want to check the contents. Root, desktop. You can see this is showing me the contents of the desktop directory. This is the complete path. If I want to check the, you can see it is showing me the contents of the /root directory. ls-a option including the hidden files. You know, in Windows system we can hide a file, also unhide a file. Likewise, in Linux we can also hide a file using a dot. Please remember this one. Those files having a dot started before the folder or file name, that is called a hidden file in Linux. If I want to show the hidden files, we can use the command ls-a. Let me show you the difference. Previously, I have used the command ls-a. Now I will use the command only ls. You can see no dot file will be displayed here. It is showing only the files without started with a dot. Whenever I will use the command ls-a, then only it will show the hidden files also. This is the most favorite question for the interviewers, for the beginners. What is the command to check the hidden files in Linux? And what is a hidden file? How you can identify? The files and folders started with a dot known as a hidden file in Linux. ls-l display extra information. Extra information means here I am showing you the contents of the directory, but here it is not showing the creation date and time, and what is the size occupied by the file or the directory. It is not showing here. If we will use the command ls-l, it will show you the all information. That means, let me take one example. This is a script file. This is a script file. It is created on June 5th, and the permission for this file is root, and the what is the permission for root? This is also showing here, and what is the size of that file. All information are showing here. That means ls-l option displays the extra information about the file. ls-l recursive through directories. That means it will sort the contents. You can see starting from A, B, D. Likewise, it is sorted the contents. ls-ld only directory. That means if here you can see here it is showing files and folders along with the hidden files. So if I want to show only the directories, at that time I can use the command ls-ld. ls-ld // it will show the only directories. Likewise, for ls command, we can use ls option, then file or directory. So ls is the command and -a is the option. Here we are using the single letter command. That's why we are using the single dash. Any doubt here? Please ask me.
Uh, if we want to list all the hidden folders, only directories, so what will be the command?
Acha,
Only directory,
ls
not files.
-l dot star. As I told you, dot stand for the hidden files. It will show you
Okay, okay,
only the hidden files.
okay, okay.
Copying file and directories. If you want to copy a file, you can use the command CP, copy files and directories. So CP option and file or destination. CP option file 1, file 2 and destination. That means in a single command we can also copy multiple files to the destination. Let me show you here. Text is a test text is a text file. I will copy this one. Copy. You can see test file is copied to the /home/Vishnu, and here I am giving the complete path because now I am in /root directory and I want to copy the contents of a /root to the home/Vishnu, and this is the home directory for the Vishnu user. That's why here I have given the complete path. If I want to copy the same text file to the desktop, here you can use the absolute path. Sorry, relative path. You can see just I have given the only desktop because now we are in /root. So not required to give the full path. This is the relative path and this is the absolute path. Here if you will use slash here, it will be treated as a absolute path. It will not work because desktop is not present in slash. You can see desktop is not present here. That's why it will not work. So now disk type. What are the disk type we can use in a Linux operating system and how we can check it? fdisk-l is the command to show all disk information. Likewise, all hard disk in a Windows operating system, we can check the disk information using the command fdisk-l. Here I have given the fdisk-l. Here it is showing /dev nv en01, likewise sdb. You can see also SDA. These are the hard disks attached to this operating system having 2 GB. This is a 2 GB drive. This is also a 2 GB drive. I have attached two hard disks having 2 GB space. So using the command fdisk-l, we can see the hard disk and disk type. So what is this? SDB is a hard disk, but whereas SDB1 is the partition. Likewise, in Windows C drive, D drive, here SDB1 is the partition created from the SDB. Likewise, from SDA, one partition is created having SDA1 having 2 GB. You can see this is a 2 GB and partition type is a Linux file system. This is also Linux file system. You can see here this is another partition created from the this drive and having Linux LVM. This is Linux type. So using the fdisk-l command, we can see the detailed about the hard disk and partitions and the partition size, partition type, all information we can check. So df-h will be show the partition information only. df-h. You can see only partition information here. It is showing SDA1, and this is these are the partitions. And what is the percentage of utilized? What is the available? What is the total size? And what is the mount point? That means this partition is mounted to the slash, and this SDA1 is mounted for the /bkp. Likewise, you can check the detail about the all partitions available in the Linux operating system using the command df-h. If you use the df-th, capital T, here you can see the type also. Type means what is the partition format. This is a XFS format. You can check likewise in Windows NTFS FAT32 FAT16. XFS is the partition type in a Linux operating system. So do command to check the disk usage. That means here you can see /root is utilized 50% and available space is 4.1 G out of 8 GB. This information we can check using the do command. Du minus sh, du minus ah. S stands for summarize, display only total for each directory. Now I'm in root. If I will use the, you can see this is only given me the summarize information. That means /root directory utilize 25 MB. Okay. Likewise, you can check du minus sh /home Vishnu. You can see /Vishnu utilize 64K. So H means human readable. Here I am using the H option. That's why it is showing me in MB. If I will use only S, you can see it is not showing in a human readable format. A means all, write count all files, not just directory. That means it will show the all files and folders. I have told you SDA, SDB, SDC, these are the hard disk attached to the operating. So A refers to its first drive and B refers to its second drive. Whenever we will attach multiple drive in a Linux operating system, it will mounted as a SDA, SDB and SDB likewise. That means here 3 hard disks are attached to the operating system. So whenever we will make it a partition, then only it will convert it to as a SDA1, SDA2, SDA3. Whenever we will make a partition using the hard disk SDB, then only partitions will be named as SDB1, SDB2, SDB3. This is the format in Linux. SDA, B and C are the hard disks and SDA1, 2, 3 are the partitions. HDA and HDB, ID drives device name. That means whenever we will connect a external hard disk, at that time it will be mounted as HDA, external hard disk, and the partitions will be displayed as HDA1, HDA2, HDA3. So MBR and GPT. MBR is the traditional partition system, cannot be used for disk over 2 TB size. Whenever we will format a hard disk using the MBR, then only we cannot use over 2 TB. And we can also create maximum 4 primary partitions. And whenever we will use the GPT format, it is more modern partition scheme. GPT can have many more partitions per disk, and this style limited does not exist. GPT and the partition table information is available in multiple locations to guard against the corruption. That means whenever the disk is corrupted, it is easy to recover, and this is also very less chance to corrupt the disk, because the information partition table information in multiple location stored in a multiple location. So format and file system, formatting and file system. That means the file systems are in the format of ext2, ext3, ext4 and XFS. I have already shown you in my system the partitions are in XFS format. So other partition formats are ext2, ext3, 4 and XFS. XFS is the more modern, and ext stands for the fourth extended file system. This means ext4 is the fourth extended file system and XFS is the extended file system. Then if you want to tell the full form of the ext3, it is the third extended file system. Likewise, second generation, second extended file system. To format a hard disk, we can use the command fdisk. Fdisk, then the partition name. You can use ext4 and XFS. If we want to format the partition using the ext4, At that time, we can use the command mkfs.ext4/deb/sta1. Likewise, we can, if you want to format for the XFS format, then you can use mkfs.xfs/db/sdb1. Let me show you. I have unmounted this partition, and let me format this. This is previously, this is in XFS format. You can see the format of the partition is changed to ext4. Likewise, you can change the partitions format. That means we can format a hard disk for ext4 and XFS. According to the requirement, you can use. But what is the difference here? I have already told you what are the basic difference for. Sorry, here you can. Here I will say you. ext4 is the most popular default file system, and expand and reduce volume size can be possible in LVM. That means whenever we will configure a LVM disk using the ext4 partition, at that time we can expand and reduce the volume. But in case of XFS, only expand is possible and cannot reduce the partition. That means whenever we will configure the LVM, only expand is possible for the XFS partition, but reduce is not possible. But in case of ext4, we can expand and reduce, both we can do. That is the difference between ext4 and XFS. Any doubt? Please ask me. Anyone having any doubt? So today we have learned some important directory structure, absolute and relative path name, disk type, basic commands, disk partitions, and file systems. These things we have covered in this session, and next session we will learn how to configure the LVM. This part we will cover the next session. Anyone having any doubt, please ask me.
From ext4, can we convert into XFS?
Yeah, we can convert it.
Okay. Okay. And from any file system we can convert, right? Let's say from ext3 or ext2 to XFS4.
Yeah, we can convert. We can convert because you can see here /db is mounted to /bkb. Before changing the partition format, we have to unmount this partition.
Right.
Then only we can
Right.
format this.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You can see I have again formatted for the XFS file system.
Right.
Anyone have any question? Please ask me.